Okay, so welcome to tonight's healing, where we're going to be doing an energy clearing all around trusting. And this idea came to me because I actually was in my healers group and I was searching for a healing on trust. And one came up that had no word of trusting in it, did it, and it was just the one that was meant for me. And I was like, look, the universe was giving it to me. And I've noticed that the more that you trust in your life, and with how we use in Theta Healing Creator, the more that like you're taken cared of, right? If we just trust more. So tonight we're going to be doing some digging, bringing up the energy for us to then clear it, because then we can start to clear that energy for you so you can start trusting yourself more, knowing how to trust yourself and what it feels like to trust yourself. Because something that I have really learned through theta healing is sometimes we don't actually know what the feeling is, right? Like we would love to feel happy, successful, joy, but we've actually never truly felt it. And we can learn that, which we're going to do tonight through muscle testing as well. So let's dive straight in because we're going to have the replay as well. Amazing. Melanie is all in. So what I would first like to ask you yourself, so you can either journal it or put it in the chat. Where did you learn and where did you first learn that you couldn't trust yourself? Because what tonight we're going to do is do some questions to bring up that energy so we can put it into creator's energy for us to clear that for you. Because there is a time that you first learned that you couldn't trust yourself. So to go in, amazing. So we've got early childhood. So to go in, just close your eyes, connect in with yourself and ask the question. And you'll hear like either a voice, get a picture or something, however you resonate. I personally hear or have like a knowing of that's where it came from. So we've got childhood. Okay, so who told you that you couldn't trust yourself? So just bringing up that energy of where did you learn that you couldn't trust yourself and who told you that you couldn't trust yourself? So we've got dark entities, parents. I feel like a lot of the energy will be quite parents because at a young age, you are quite absorbent of parents and people around us, psychic senses and abilities. So you couldn't trust your psychic senses and abilities. That is a good question. Okay. We've got lies, gaslighting. Okay, love this. Bring up all of that energy because the more energy that we bring up, the more that we can clear. I could be the other being. Okay. So on that, so we've got where you first learned that you couldn't trust yourself. We've got who told you that you couldn't trust yourself. And I'd like you to ask yourself now, what were you told that you couldn't trust? So this could be told not to trust your abilities. For example, if you're a healer, sensitive, this could be your intuition. This could be your own voice, your own thoughts. What were you told that you couldn't trust? It could even be others, but connecting with what resonates for you. Okay, so as if you were crazy. Because, for example, this is what's going to be playing out in the background. So the reason that we're doing the questioning and bringing up these feelings is because these is what's the truth going on behind the scenes. And what's going on behind the scenes is what's creating your life in your reality. So a lot of the times that we can think we don't have certain beliefs, and tonight we're going to test them, that we actually do have. And that's what's the mismatch, that's what's the interruption in what you're trying to create. Okay, so I'm just reading the chat. It came from narcissist denied reality with boldness and conviction. So what I'm getting from that is you're not being your boldness. You're not being your bold, safe self. Because you were taught and you learned that you couldn't trust it. Yeah. Amazing. These are bringing up some downloads for us to clear, which is great. So another question that I'd like us to go into and bring up the energy, but also told that I'm delusional. Okay, delusion. Okay, I love that because we can then shift that energy. Okay, amazing. Get some downloads from Creator, noting them down so we can add that into our energy clearing. Thank you so much for that. So where have you been looking outside of yourself and not willing to trust yourself? So I'd also like to add to that, what have you been trusting more than yourself? So what have you been trusting more than yourself? Is it a certain person? Is it other people's beliefs? And also, how does that make you feel? So we've got authorities and other people. Okay, people in authority. Okay, it makes you feel powerless. Powerless. Okay, amazing. Powerless, trapped. So if you're on the replay, guys, these are just the ones that are coming in the chat. But if you're on the replay, please ask these questions to yourself and allow that energy to be brought up. Yeah, because that's what I was really getting into, and the reason that I've done this healing, especially the powerless part, because for me, it's about helping you step into the power that is you. But if you're feeling powerless and not trusting yourself, you're going to be dimming your own light and trying to fit in. And that's what we would like to move out of, allowing you to shine bright and be yourself and attracting more from that energy. Okay. So, last one to bring up the energy is, what are you fearing around trusting yourself? So, what are you fearing around trusting yourself? I fear that you'll make a mistake. So, just to recap, the questions were, where did you first learn that you couldn't trust yourself? Who told you that you couldn't trust yourself? What were you told that you couldn't trust? Where have you been looking outside of you and not willing to trust yourself? What have you been trusting more than yourself? How does it make you feel? And what are you fearing around trusting yourself? Okay, so we brought up a lot of energy about feeling powerless, fear of making mistakes, other people, and all of that. And all of that energy is what's going to be playing on in the background, and probably a lot of your fear. So when you're trying, or we don't really try, we either do or we don't, but when you're going to trust yourself, that voice that goes, oh, no, 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 and brings yourself back, that's what that voice, right? Because of all of this going on in the background. So the more that we are able to clear that and go into that and allow you to start trusting yourself, the more that you're going to start doing it. Okay, because the more that I've been shifting my beliefs around it, the more action that I've been taking on trusting myself. And then they go hand in hand, because the more that you take the action, the more then you build them beliefs, and it sort of works together for you. Okay, I'm just going to read the chat. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to muscle test. We're going to muscle test a few beliefs. And if you haven't done muscle testing before, I know on the call we have, which is great, but for the people on the replay who may have not done muscle testing before, I'm going to show you how to do it. And then I will read out the beliefs that I'd like you to say and see if you get a yes or a no. Okay, so first of all, have a sip of water for me. Thank you. Just going to connect in and see if there's any more muscle testings for us to do with the energy that's been brought up. Okay, so to muscle test, what you do, because I will do it with you, is you're going to have your feet shoulder width apart, bend your legs slightly, and then you're going to say yes, 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 whilst your eyes are closed and you say it out loud. So shoulder width apart, bend your knees, close your eyes and say yes, yes, yes. And you will fall forward and then reset. And then just say no, no, no. And you'll fall backwards. So that is your body telling you the yes and no for you. Okay? If you do not get a forward motion when you say yes, you can try saying love, unconditional love, and you'll go forward. And then if you say like hate, negativity, you'll go backward. So either try yes, no, love, hate, and then you'll go. So make a note of what you get, your yeses and your nos, because the idea is that we test with the muscle testing. And if you get a no, by the end of it, we'd like obviously the positive belief for you. Okay. So we'd like to shift the beliefs for you of tonight's clearing. And then what we're going to do after is retest them to just make sure everything's shifted for you. Okay. So the first muscle testing that I'd like you to do, so you'll be standing up, shoulder width apart, knees bent, eyes closed, and say out loud, I can rely on my senses. Okay. And then make a note of what you get. And then what I would like you to test when you've done that one is I can rely on myself. And if you go forward, you'll get it's a yes. And if you go back, it's a no. And then I know what it feels like to trust myself. And if you get a yes, can we just test on all levels? I know what it feels like to trust myself. And then I know how to trust myself. And then if you get a yes, just to make sure this is on all levels, can you test on all levels? I know how to trust myself. Okay. The reason we do on all levels for the people on replay is that sometimes you can get a yes, but there is 4 different belief levels, okay? And you may have you may get like the subconscious telling you like, yeah, you believe that, but actually there's one level or a couple of levels, for example, core, genetic, historical, and soul. One of them might not, and that's holding in the belief for you of the no, right? But we want to uncover that by asking on all levels, because the goal is to believe it on all levels so that then it disperses for you. So now can we say it is safe to trust myself? And then if you've got a yes for that one, please do. On all levels, it is safe to trust myself. Because what's for replay, people, what's just happened in the chat is we've just had someone say that they know what it feels like to trust themselves. Yes, which is great. But then when they tested on all levels, I know what it feels like to trust myself, they got a no. And then last one is I am allowed to trust myself. And then again, if you've got a yes, please test on all levels. I am allowed to trust myself. Okay, we've got some no's, which is great because then that's some energy that we can clear. And what we're going to do now is go into a guided meditation using the Theta Healing technique. And if you haven't done, okay, amazing. Thank you for that. So we've got energy of being a good person. Okay. Amazing. We brought up a lot of energy tonight. So I'm excited for this clearing to be able to just give you that full release and shift some of these beliefs so that you can start actioning in your life and feeling that sense of trust with yourself and actioning it, because it's a lot of things actually that I see even in my own, say, relationships around me, people around me, like even asking like a question and they're like, oh, what about da, da, da? And I'm like, trust yourself. And it's something that I feel like that the collective find quite hard to do. And if you actually think about it, when you're brought up, you're not really taught to trust yourself, right? It's something we get to learn and also something we get to pass down to the children of teaching them to trust themselves. Okay? So we're now going to go into a guided theta healing meditation. This is where you can now get comfy. If you're sitting in a chair like me, that's fine. If you're laying down, either is absolutely fine. We're going to use the theta healing technique, and this is where I'm going to take you up through to creator of all that is in the seventh plane of existence, where anything and everything is possible, but using and with your permission. Because with the law of free will, I cannot witness with creator any healings without you saying yes. So when I'm doing this, we'll guide up and I'll say, for example, if it's okay with you, can we now release the belief da 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 and replace it with da 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 da? And you get to say yes out loud. For example, if you're on replay, no one's going to hear you. If you're on now, everybody's muted, so no one's going to hear you. Okay, so just say yes out loud, and the creator will know who said yes and will be able to witness that for you. And then after the healing, we will do the muscle testing again just to ensure that they have cleared for you. Okay. So get yourself comfy, and I'm now going to guide you up into the theta brainwave state where we are going to tap into that subconscious mind and go into this. And I'm just going to receive downloads from the creator and we're going to go with what we get. I'm going to trust that this is the healing that's going to give you the transformation that you need for today. Okay. Please know that just for anyone who hasn't done a theta healing before energy clearing, know that when I'm guiding you up, if you can't see things, because I at the start couldn't see things or really perceive it, just trust and allow yourself to be guided, right? You don't have to see everything. Sometimes I feel like you're focusing like, I can't see it, and it would just take away from the healing. So just allow yourself to fully relax, go into that meditative state, and just say yes when you would like to receive the downloads, and I'll witness them for you. Okay, so close your eyes for me now, please, and get comfy. Okay. And just start by taking a nice deep breath in And exhale. Breathe in and out. And on this next breath in, I'd just like you to hold it, to just gather up all that energy that may have surfaced tonight, and exhale it out. One more for me. Breathe in and hold. Seeing all that energy just gather up and exhale. Allowing it just to release out of you now. And I'd like you now to center yourself into your heart space, where you see a beautiful ball of light that is you. See that beautiful ball of light and just allow it now to go down through your body to the soles of your feet. And see that energy coming out through the soles of your feet, going down through all the layers of Mother Earth, going down through and into the center and the core of Mother Earth, where you meet a ball of light. This is the center of Mother Earth, where you now feel grounded and secure, creating your roots. Allow yourself to draw up that loving energy, coming up, back up through all the layers of Mother Earth and gently coming back into the soles of your feet, where you see that beautiful light travel up your feet, your calves, your knees, your thighs, and into your pelvis. Allowing it now to go up through each and every chakra, cleansing and aligning them for you now, where you're allowing your body just to relax deeper and deeper as the energy travels up through to the top of your head and gently out the top of your head through your crown chakra, where there gently forms a beautiful ball of light above your head, which is safe and secure. Allowing yourself to go into that ball of light now. Allow that ball of light to go out through the building that you're in, going higher and higher through the clouds, shooting up through the planets and the stars, going higher and higher out of our atmosphere, out of our universe, and coming up to some lighter lights and darker lights and lighter lights again, and gently coming up into a golden light. This is the realm of the angels, ancestors, and spirit guides. But allow yourself to travel up higher and higher through this golden light, where you gently meet a jelly-like substance, which is the colours of the rainbow, where the universal laws reside. Imagine what it feels like to push up through your bubble of light, through that jelly-like substance, and gently come out of that jelly-like substance and into a beautiful pink mist, which is the law of compassion. See yourself going up through that pink mist and coming up into the pearly white iridescent light, which is the brightest light you've ever seen, but one which is gentle on your eyes. This is the energy and home of Creator of all that is in the seventh plane of existence. Allow yourself to go higher and higher into this light until all that you can feel, see, and perceive is that unconditional love. If you see any people, spaces, or places, keep going higher and higher into that light. And imagine your ball of light dissolving around you, where you feel connected and safe in this pure, unconditional love. And can we start now by asking that all parts of you, known and unknown, are now pulled into the Creator's unconditional love in a safe space for you now to have this healing. And if you would like this download, say yes out loud. And can we start by downloading you with some unconditional love from the creator of all that is in the seventh plane of existence? And can we teach you and all parts of you on all levels what it feels like to have and receive unconditional love from the creator of all that is? Reminding every cell and molecule of yourself that it is loved, it always has been unconditionally loved from the creator of all that is. And can we remind you and all parts of you and every cell of you that you have been here before, and allow it now to be reminded of this feeling of feeling safe and secure in the unconditional love. And reminded that this is something that you can always tap into, always receive, and always have, and teach you and all parts of you how to do this now. And that you are worthy on all levels of having this now. And I'd like you now to just think of that time that we brought up today around trusting yourself, bringing up that part of you that learned that they couldn't trust themselves. And I'd just like you now to invite them into that creator's light in your mind, seeing that part of you. It could be a younger part of you, a past life version of you, yourself. But where you learned and first learned that you couldn't trust yourself, allow them to come in now. And if it's okay with you, can we download them and you with unconditional love? Can we teach you and them that it is safe to have this healing now? That it is safe to be in the unconditional love? And that it is safe for you to see yourself? And that it is safe for you to acknowledge yourself and be with yourself? And can we remind you and all parts of you that you are allowed to call upon parts of yourself? That it is safe for you to heal parts of yourself? And that you can do this now. And if it's okay with you, can we now pull that fear, that resentment, that worry, that anger, that anxiety that part of you is feeling around trusting themselves? Can we just pull all of that now and have it sent in the Creator's light to be resolved on all levels for you and replaced with unconditional love, teaching you and all parts of you that you no longer need to hold on to this fear, this worry, this resentment, this anger, and this anxiety around trusting yourself? And can we download you and all parts of you and them with the knowing and understanding of how to trust yourself? Pulling the belief of I know how to trust myself, no, from all levels in all space, time, dimensions, and realities, and replacing this on all levels with I know how to trust myself. Yes. I know what it feels like to trust myself. Yes. And I know that it is safe to trust myself. Yes, on all levels for you now. And can we teach you on all parts of you, on all levels, that it is safe for you to hold on to these beliefs and feelings now? And can we integrate them at the speed of light for you now without having a healing crisis? That younger you and yourself now, and all versions of you, knows how to trust themselves, knows what it feels like to trust themselves, and knows that it is safe to trust themselves on all levels. I'd just like you now to imagine that pearly white of unconditional love showering over you. So seeing that pearly white come from the top of your head to that younger version of you, like a waterfall washing through them, releasing all of that energy. And if it's okay with you, can we give them an instant healing now to resolve this for you now? Marking these lessons as done and complete. And can we release all the entities, dark spirits, waywards, fallen angels, fallen spirits that have been holding on to this energy, this fear, this worry, this resentment around trusting yourself? Can we just pull all of them for you now, for them to never to return to you in this lifetime or any lifetimes again, and replace it with unconditional love and what it feels like to live your day-to-day life, trusting yourself with ease, flow, and joy now. And can we download you and all parts of you with having discernment and greater highest truth and definition and perspective of discernment around trusting yourself, around who to trust, around when to trust, and around trusting yourself? And can we just now release all the contracts, oaths, vows, and commitments that you, younger you, or other lifetime versions of you made around choosing not to trust yourself in this lifetime and any lifetimes, that have been preventing you from fully trusting yourself and that have been allowing you to give your power away to others? Can we now just mark them as done and complete? revoke, renounce, rescind, renounce, and resolve them on all levels for you now, so that you can now trust yourself, that you can now trust yourself without needing others, and that you know how to do this through the true divine creative all that is, perspective and highest definition and understanding. We teach you in all parts of you that you know when to trust, how to trust, and that you always trust yourself. Having true discernment on who to trust and when to trust, but feeling safe around trusting yourself always. And I now would just like you to picture that younger part of you or past life version of you and allow them to come into your embrace and give them a hug. Allowing your hearts to connect and you to give them a hug. And I'd just like you now to whisper in their ear and say, it is safe to trust yourself and it is safe to trust me. Seeing them going into you now with that feeling of safety to trust yourself, where they have let go of that fear, that worry, that resentment of the past, where they now come into your embrace and into you and integrate as part of you through ease, flow, and joy around trusting yourself, with confidence around trusting yourself. And if it's okay with you, can we now pull the belief on all levels and in all space, time, dimensions, and realities of I can rely on my senses, no, and I can rely on myself, no, and replace these in an all space, time, dimensions, and realities and on all levels and in all languages with I can rely on my senses, yes, I can rely on myself, yes, that teaching you in all parts of you that you know how to and you know what it feels like to rely on yourself and your senses now. And anywhere that you've been doubting yourself, doubting your judgment, doubting what you're receiving, doubting your own senses, can we now just mark that as done and complete and send it an instant healing and having this resolved on all levels through unconditional love, that you know what it feels like to have confidence in yourself, you have confidence in your senses, you have confidence in your sense of knowing, your sense of trusting, and that you know what it feels like to live your day-to-day life having confidence whilst relying on yourself and having confidence whilst trusting yourself. Can we now pull the belief from all space, time, dimension, and realities, and in all languages and on all levels of I am allowed to trust myself? No. And replace this on all levels and in all languages and all space, time, dimension, and realities with I am allowed to trust myself? Yes. That you know what it feels like to trust yourself, that you know how to trust yourself, and that you fully give yourself permission in each and every moment with trusting yourself. And can we just restore your perception and permission around who decides if you trust yourself? And restore that through the true divine unconditional love with knowing that you give yourself permission, that you have permission to trust yourself, that you are allowed to trust yourself. And now return all soul fragments around trusting yourself, having the soul fragments that you have given away to others around trusting yourself to be sent up to Creator's light, to be washed and cleansed in unconditional love and returned back to you, whilst giving them back their soul fragments through the unconditional love, so that you can fully step into your power now, your permission, your allowance around trusting yourself with confidence. And can we just restore now your sense of self, your sense of self-image with Creator's highest truth and perspective of you now, and releasing all negative, fearful, and small self-images that you've had of yourself now, allowing them to be sent up to Creator's light, and you now replaced with Creator's highest truth and definition of who you are, who you're here to be, and your self-identity now. Allowing you to see and feel what it feels like to live your day-to-day life being in your power, what it feels like to live your day-to-day life trusting yourself and being in your power without seeking other people's approval or permission. And anywhere that you have been seeking other people's approval or permission, can we now just release that and resolve that on all levels for you? Can we teach you in all parts of you that you know how to live your day-to-day life without seeking other people's permission? Can we just restore all of your senses now? And any shock, trauma, grief, sadness that is in your senses and your body, can they just be restored through unconditional love and sent an instant healing now? To be released of that shock, trauma. I just like you to take some nice deep breaths in and blowing out, just to allow that to be released for you now. And we download you with a belief on all levels of I am a good person, and upgrade your perception and highest truth of a good person with Creator's highest truth and perspective on this now, giving you the highest truth and definition of a good person, and show you on all parts of you the ways that you are a good person now. Can we remind you and all parts of you of what it feels like to be bold and stand out? And anywhere that you have been dimming your light and trying to fit in, and dimming your light and feeling powerless around others, can we just send that an instant healing and teach you on all parts of you on all levels that you know how to be bold and stand out while staying true to yourself? That you know how to be bold and stand out whilst being a good person, and that you know how to be bold and stand out whilst trusting yourself, and that you know what it feels like to be connected to your true self now. Can we now invite your true self, your higher self, your authentic self to come into you, allowing you to fully see them and be them now, and teach you on all parts of you on all levels that it is safe to be your true self and authentic self now, and that you know how to be your true self and your authentic self now. And anywhere that you haven't been choosing to be your true self, your authentic self, because of what others told you, can we now just revoke, renounce, rescind, renounce, and resolve all of that for you on a historic level, disconnecting you from others and connecting you back in to the creator of all that is through unconditional love. And can we teach you and all parts of you what it feels like to have clarity of mind and clarity around your sense of self? That you now have clarity of mind and clarity around your sense of self. And that you know how to take action and aligned action in your life through clarity of mind and clarity of your sense of self. And that it is safe for you to take aligned action from this space now. And can we open up your receptors to being your authentic true self, and closing down the ones which have been keeping you in this loop, and mark them as done and complete now. opening up and restoring the receptors of being your true self, whilst trusting yourself, whilst being your true self and loving yourself. Remind you on all parts of you of how to love yourself and what it feels like to truly love and accept yourself. And can we just restore your definition of authority and remind you in all parts of you that you have authority over your own life now, that you know what it feels like to live your life through a space of empowerment, what it feels like to live your day-to-day life feeling powered through yourself and in your life, what it feels like to trust yourself, to show up as yourself, and to be, and what it feels like to be yourself. And if it's okay with you, can we now integrate all of these feelings, beliefs, and downloads that we have done today? Allow them to be integrated on all levels and in all languages, teaching you on all parts of you that it is safe for you to hold on to these now, that these are now instilled for you to be able to hold on to these, no longer needing to loop, pulling all the wayward entities, fallen angels, dark spirits, reptilians, dark energies that have been looping you back into not trusting yourself, where you go to trust yourself and then come back, that they are now marked as done and complete, and that you know what it feels like and that you know how to move forward in your life, trusting yourself with ease, flow, and joy, and being connected to the true divine creator that is an unconditional love. Taking some nice deep breaths in for me, allowing that all to be released. And seeing that shower head come above your head, where that pearly white iridescent light of unconditional love washes over you. Going from the top of your head, showering over you and through you. Going past your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, just allowing all of that energy to dissipate now. Going through your throat chakra, down your shoulders to your fingertips and back up. Going through your heart chakra, down to your pelvis, through your thighs, your knees, your calves, and gently flowing out with abundance from the soles of your feet and gently into the core of Mother Earth. Allowing all that energy to go into the core of Mother Earth, where you feel grounded and connected to yourself and Mother Earth again. Feeling back as you and as one. Seeing the energy shoot back up through your feet to the top of your head and up to that pearly white iridescent light of creative all that is. Knowing that you are connected and always connected to that divine unconditional love whenever you need or choose it. Taking a nice deep breath in and blowing out. And gently now wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, and bringing yourself back into this space. It's okay if you've fallen asleep. Just gently bring yourself back into this space. And when you're back, take some nice sips of water. Oh, amazing that you're back. Let me know how you're feeling, and then we will just recap the muscle testings and see what has shifted. I am getting guided to say that this gets to integrate, in that I would definitely recommend replaying this, because the more that you do the healing, I'm not saying you need to do the start bit, just go straight to when I do the healing. The more that you replay the healing, the deeper it cements, okay? And if you find yourself like not taking that aligned action and trusting yourself, come back to this replay. So just take some nice sips of water and then let me know when you're ready and we'll do the muscle testing. I am getting guided to say that if you'd like this to cement, to do this replay over the next couple of days. I'm getting, say, 3 to 5 days. But when you're ready, we will do the muscle testing. Okay. So remember, shoulder widths apart, knees bent, eyes closed, and say out loud, yes, 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 no, no, no. Remember, forward is yes, no is no. And not to force it, your body will move like a magnet. So the first one is, I can rely on my senses. I can rely on myself. I know what it feels like to trust myself. On all levels, I know what it feels like to trust myself. I know how to trust myself. On all levels, I know how to trust myself. It is safe to trust myself. On all levels, it is safe to trust myself. I'm allowed to trust myself. And on all levels, I'm allowed to trust myself. Okay, so a lot has shifted, but if it hasn't shifted for you, what I recommend doing is doing the replay for, say, the next 3 days and then retest. I'm going to put the replay in the group and I'm going to put the muscle testings for you, so you don't need to write them down. I'm going to put them in the replay for you so you have it. And then if they haven't shifted, pop me a message. There is going to be something deeper there that we get to go into together. But what I'm perceiving is that over the next 3 days of doing this healing, they will have all shifted. But like I said, if they haven't, then there's deeper work to go on a one-on-one level. But thank you so much for jumping on the live or the replay. I'm excited to be doing more of these with you again, and I cannot wait to hear what's shifted. If things start to shift and you're trusting yourself more and things like that, please let me know. And if there's any specific healings you would like to see in the group, then please let me know as well, because that's what I'm here for, is to help you guys create more of what it is that you'd like through ease, flow, and joy. So thank you so much, and I will pop the replay in the group. Have a great rest of your weekend, and you are more than welcome. Thanks.